Howdy folks, it's Tyrell here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We have already started our bush trip discovering Denmark. We did first leg with a long introduction in the first video, so this will be the second leg in this video with no introduction other than that, and let's get going. Alright, here we are beginning our second leg, and we're going to read about it in a second here. Let's zoom that out a little bit. Alrighty, let's see here. Whoops, not that one. We want this one. We're headed to... is that Oscar Delta or Zero Delta? I think it's Oscar Delta. Alright, long one, because it always takes me like double the time. So, first of all, if you didn't see the previous video, we're doing this differently. We're doing one leg per video, unless they're really short, and we're reading about the POIs as we fly over them to make the best of it and not to hurry through. Where's POI 1? How far away is it? Or I guess it's 7 in this case. Is it 7 on there? It's 7 on there. It's a ways away, so let's take off and then we'll read about the POI. So the POI is between those two long lakes. So if we come over here, it's a little bit different. Wait a second. Is it those two? Because then there's, wait a second, what? Hang on. I'm trying to get an idea of where we actually are. Oh, no, it's here. Okay, so we have until there to read about what we're doing. Okay, simple enough. Alrighty, let's put the map away. Let's put everything away. Let's do repair and refuel, which I mapped as Control R. You have to set that up yourself. Let's get autopilot set up. Lights and flaps and everything. Flaps actually come down. Everything else is set the way we want it. Flight director, we'll use GPS and we will use altitude. We'll do 3,000 for this. And we'll do a slow climb. No hurry. Alright, I think that's all we need to do. Yep. Super simple because it's a bush trip. Alright, let's take off. And we'll meet up with the purple line. And then we will engage autopilot and read about our first POI. That way we know what we're flying over as we fly over it. Cities, villages. In this case it's more cities and villages. But cities, landmarks, bodies of water. Things like that. We get that from reading about the POIs. Alright, here we go. Step on the brakes. Runway heading for a moment. Flaps coming in. Get a little bit of speed. And here we go. We're going to turn around and meet up with the purple line. Then engage autopilot. What do I have climb set to? 500. We're doing about 800, of course. I just want to have a smooth handoff to autopilot in a moment. And then we'll see what's happening here. There we go, we're almost there. And handoff, smoothish, or not. Alrighty, let's see, what are we doing? POI 7 is, after taking off from Roskilde, I did that last time, Roskilde Airport, fly southwest for 13.8 nautical miles to the crescent-shaped my kid has an O/ in his name, but it's South Danish, so it's O. Like, we're not South Danish, so that's going to be Langus Lake. I don't know, whatever. Close, I hope. And I'm trying. So that's POI 7. So we're looking for the lake, which we know because we saw on the map, but that's what it's called. And then we'll read about POI 8 when we get there. So here we go. We're going to enjoy the climb out. Right now we're right about here, so it'll be a little bit. So like before, I'm going to give you some sightseeing and cut down some of the time between here and there, but you're not going to miss anything. So enjoy the climb out with me, and I will see you when we get to that lake. Alright, we're about to get to the lake, which from the air looks kind of small, but when we get next to it, we'll look out the window. So let's get going. Whoops, now let's get going. Let's continue on with POI 8, because it's, well, I guess it's quite a ways away. So no, we won't read about POI 8 yet. We'll wait till I get to this crescent-shaped lake that I can't pronounce. I wonder if it's good for swimming, fishing, boating, kayaking, skinny dipping? Anyway, looks awesome, looks calm, lined with trees. Looks like there's a town outside of it of some type. Very cool. Doesn't look like we're going to get to see much from the window because we're over it. And that's one of the weird things about being in airplanes is when you're over something you can't see it, right? And then if you aren't over it, even a small airplane like this, is really hard for the other person to see what you're looking at, right? Because we're looking down on this lake, but if you're on the other side, you can't see the lake at all, see? Even though it's a small plane. Alrighty, there's the coast over there, so let's read about POI 8 and see what that's going to tell us. Great Belt Bridge. Continue on your heading for another 23 nautical miles. For us, that's going to be like half an hour. Okay, let's start that again. Continuing on your heading for another 23 nautical miles brings you to the stunning Great Belt Bridge, also known as East Bridge, the 5th longest span in the world. So on your screen right now, I'm going to try to find number 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you see those, I looked it up. If you don't see them, then I couldn't find it. 5th longest span, Great Belt Bridge, POI 8. Alright, let's put that away. POI 8, so it's right on, well, okay, so there's this huge bridge. Oh, I see. This bridge going across the, is that like a strait? No, that's more than a strait. That's like a gigantic body of water. So that'll be easy to spot because we're going to fly right alongside it. Okay. And then once we're over the bridge, we'll read about POI 9. And where are we going to? Oscar Delta? Is that what it said? Oscar Delta, yeah. Alright, this is the longest segment of this leg, so you'll get a little bit of sightseeing. Again, I'm going to cut it way down for time, but you're not going to miss anything. And I'll see you probably right there, I'm guessing. This major highway or freeway or motorway or whatever it's called here. It's not interstate, I don't think, but whatever it's called. Goes either, well, probably there actually. But I'll see you when we get there, regardless of what I'm trying to say. Alright, I can't make out a bridge yet, but it has to be in here because it goes to that little island. If you look, right, this highway goes to that island, so it has to be here because here's the main motorway. See how it goes right there, and then it must be in here. So it'll render in soon, and we'll have a nice long look at it while we cross this place, whatever it's called. Oh, the water is actually called Great Belt. Is that what this said? That's not what this said. It said Great Belt Bridge, also known as the East Bridge. And the area is actually called, this water is called Great Belt. I'm looking at a map right now. And then they also have the name of the water in Denmark, which is Dutch, I think. Langslandsbelt with the AE thing. Langslandbelt. I meant Danish, by the way. Not Dutch. Oh my gosh. Danish. Sorry. Alright, just using the drone for a little bit here to check out these gorgeous cities. There's the bridge. It goes up like a Hot Wheels ramp and then disappears. I'm just kidding. It just rendered in. As I said that it was rendering it, it goes up and then back down. Probably so it can stay low to the ground, or, you know, water levels, so they don't need to go too high, but then they have to raise it for ships, and then it comes back down, because you don't need a bridge super high all the way across. That would be too many materials, so there you can go, right there with your boat. Maybe another one? I don't know. Anyway, we'll check that out in a second, but let's look at this gorgeous city, which starts with an S. I just had it on the map. I already forgot, but that's okay. Oh, there's an airplane behind us. Looking good, and there is the bridge. Slagelse. I don't know how to say S-E in Danish. But there you go. What is that? Something going under the bridge, a big, huge turtle. Alright, put the drone away, stop playing around, and let's look out our window. Got this nice bridge. That must be like a toll thing? Maybe? Because we're staying in Denmark, so I don't think it'd be customs, would it? We're not going from Denmark to another country. We're in Denmark this whole time. We haven't had story time in a while. Have I told you about the exchange student from Denmark? So my cousins live, or at the time, this would have been, I was driving until 16-ish, so that would have been, I don't know, how many years ago? Mid-40s, take away 16, whatever that is. At that time, my cousins lived in very, very rural Minnesota, way up north, 7-hour drive from anything. And they had an exchange student. Sorry, I'm trying to look at this bridge. Let's just do it like this. I'm trying to like be in the plane for immersion, but you know what? Screw it. Let's just look at the bridge like this. Anyway, they had an exchange student from Denmark who must have been 16 as well. And she came to our house in Minneapolis first because of the airport, right? But somebody, whoever was supposed to be in charge of this person, meaning like my dad's sister, got all the days wrong of her flight. So we get this call like 11 p.m. and she's like, in her accents, what was her name? Christiana or something? Christina? Anyway, she's like, I'm at the airport. Nobody's here to get me. I'm like, who are you and what's going on? So I ended up driving to the airport to get her, and she ended up staying at her house overnight. This random person from Denmark. My sister was super jealous because my sister's boyfriend was staying over too. And my sister's boyfriend and this gal from Denmark totally hit it off. Like, totally hit it off. And my sister was so jealous. But anyway, the funny thing about the story is I left quite an impression on this person because I guess the entire time she was there, for like most of the summer, she was asking, when does Turtle come visit? I want to hang out with Turtle. I want to go to the beach with Turtle, and all these things. And I found this out like 7 or 8 years later, but it was super like flattering to hear that me and dorky, nerdy, piano playing American like totally impressed this gal from Denmark, and she spoke 7 languages, and her education in that 16 was like our college education here. She was pretty amazing. But then she did come back, but she got a flight to a northern city and went from there, so it was a lot closer instead of the 6 or 7 hour drive. But that is my Denmark story, and why am I feeling embarrassed telling you all that? I know most of you come here for story time. That's why most of you come back, so I've told way more personal stories than that. But anyway, that was, well, I know I'm embarrassed because I couldn't do the math. So this would have been 27 years ago. And because of where it was in my life, I won't forget it. So there we go. There's my Denmark story. That's all I know about Denmark. That's all I know. There we go. We passed the bridge anyway. 5th longest in the world. Let's put the drone away, quit screwing around, and let's read about the next POI, or POI, which is number 9, which is right here on the map, so just after the highway on the map. And let's see what it is. What's it all about? 9. Igeskov Castle. Europe's most well-preserved Renaissance water castle, Igeskov Castle, lies 24 nautical miles further along your course. Okay, so we're just going to keep going straight. Once you get over this major highway, which should be pretty easy to spot, then we'll look for this castle. And then once you make this turn, we'll read about the POI and our approach. That's pretty straightforward. Alright, I'm done talking. My allergy voice is getting kind of raspy, so a little bit of sightseeing for you. I'll cut things out, but you won't miss anything, and I'll see you in a moment. And we just crossed over the highway, so if you look at our map, you should be looking for the castle any second, because there's a highway and we're going to turn, and then over to our left should be the castle. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know. It said water castle. That's not it there. Oh, maybe that's it there. Oh, look at, there it is. Yeah, there it is. There's the gardens and everything. Oh, for sure that's a castle. That is it. And it has a slightly different color to it, like we discussed before. In the previous video, I guess we talked about that. I'm not going to bring that up again, but there you go. Gorgeous. All right, let's put this drone away. And we just missed our turn, but we were turning while I was getting the drone set up. So there is the big city. So here we go. Read about POI 10 and then our landing. POI 10, Odense, just under 14 nautical miles northwest, lies the colorful city of Odense. And if I'm saying that even remotely close, Denmark's 3rd largest metropolitan area. Then after that, continue for 5 nautical miles and land at the Hans Christian Andersen. That name I can say. Hans Christian no, I can't. Hans Christian Andersen Airport. Looks pretty straightforward to me. So we're just going to go over to the city and then look for the airport, and we'll kill autopilot and land. It's very simple. Let's see, getting back into here. Yes, this is like an hour later. In real life, I had to do some stuff. So I'm trying to get back to where it was. So it looks like our city is probably going to be in the water, because that would make sense. And the airport will be just beyond it. So let's zoom in one more time so the airport will come in. Okie dokie. So a little bit of time here. There's our water there. A little bit of time for sightseeing without my raspy voice. And you won't miss anything, I promise. And I'll see you in a couple minutes. Alright, we're coming up on the city. It looks like a big metropolitan area to me. Let's hop outside with the drone and have a look around. Check a few things out. I was enjoying looking at the big motorway. The big motorway going through the rural areas here. Sorry, I was looking at the cloverleaf, which we have in Minnesota, which a lot of places don't actually have in the U.S. other than like the Midwest. That's just because of trying to keep things compact. And now people regret it because it gets congested because you come around the corners and you can't get up to speed very quickly. Anyway, look at the city. That is a gorgeous view of the city, isn't it? Let's put the plane above us here. There we go. Wow, look at that. Look at that giant roundabout. Holy cow. And it just starts to, it's like farm field and then bam. I mean, it doesn't look that much, except for the architecture, you know, it doesn't look that much different than how, you know, other cities like in the Midwest here in the U.S. are, right? Oh, I see some tall stuff sticking out here. I wonder what's going on with that. Alrighty, as gorgeous as the city is, it is time to find our airport, which should be somewhere over there. I have no idea. I think we're perpendicular to the runway, so it's going to be hard to spot. That might be it right there. So let's hop inside. Oh, look at the city center, though, before we hop inside. That is incredible. Look at that. Isn't that just incredible? Wow. And the river runs through it. Oh, look, there's like a cathedral there in the middle of your screen. Wow. This is great. I'm really enjoying these bush trips a lot more doing this. I should have done this to the other bush trips, but oh well. Alrighty, because other ones I just flew. So here we go. We got some smokestacks over there. Hop inside. Our airport is up there somewhere. We're going to have to rely on the GPS, I think, to find it. Although that is really doggone close, isn't it? So where are you, airport? Oh, I think the autopilot's trying to do stuff. No autopilot. Bad autopilot. Alright, let's start coming down. Bring throttles back to descend. Not point down, but actually throttles back. Alright, this is putting us perpendicular right over the airport. I don't see it yet. We're not over it, are we? Oh, there it is. Oh, I was right. That is it. Which way should we land? I don't know. We're closest to this way, so let's do a right traffic pattern, which we normally don't do. We'll keep an eye on that runway so we don't lose it as we come down, because that's a big problem that I seem to have, is losing the sight of our destination as we come down. Look at that. But that's why you do things like use your heading bug, so you can know the orientation of the runway. Alright, it's a pretty long runway, so we're going to make a pretty short final. I just need to give myself some time to come down, although we are at 1,800 feet. So that's probably low enough for right now. So normally you would engage throttles to slow down your descent, but because we want to slow down, I'm going to pitch up to slow down, which will also slow our descent. Alright. Let's see, we're just going to have two downwind leg / base leg at the same time. And we'll come in and land. You see the beacon. Let's look at all the gorgeous scenery on the way in. That's the whole point of these bush trips, is your long VFR trips. They're not necessarily always in the mountains. People think of bush flying as dangerous tail drag, you know, flying dangerously in tail draggers in the mountains. That doesn't necessarily have to be that way. At least that's not how they apply the label in the flight simulator. So we're just looking around. Look at those red houses down there. That is amazing. Holy cow. And the trail, is that like a walking trail or something? Alright, we gotta stop though because we have to land. Haven't lost sight of the airport yet. So now we're on a good base leg. We're going to bring my throttles a little bit. And pitch up, slow down. And bring ourselves within flap range. In just a moment. Gears always down, lights are the way we want them. First set of flaps causes us to float a little bit. And we don't want to slow down quite yet. So a little bit of throttle here. We'll use throttle to speed up while I keep the pitch down so we don't climb. Alrighty, it says we're high. Coming in for our final now, throttle's back. Looking out the window one last time. Wow, this is a dangerous maneuver to be looking when we're trying to turn. I lost the runway, there it is. Okay, here we go. One on the Pappy. There we go, 2 and 2, so we'll maintain our descent rate. Using throttle and speed for pitch for speed. Alright, we're a little low. And we want to slow down, so we'll pitch up to slow down, which also will soften our descent. Second set of flaps. No wind to worry about. 1 knot tailwind, that's not really anything to worry about. Generally, you don't need to worry about wind in the bush trips, although there was one where there actually was a Patagonia, I think, where there actually was strong wind. So that was navigation, not hitting things. You couldn't rely on autopilot because it was sending you to mountains, and when you landed you had strong crosswinds. It was amazing, incredibly difficult. We crashed like 3 or 4 times in that one. Alright, we're centered because you put the lines between your legs, not in the center of the nose, but between your legs. I know that seems weird, but if you look outside, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. It'll actually center you perfectly. And there you go, nice and soft. And we're drifting left for some reason. But if you look, lines between our legs puts us in the center, which my camera isn't set up for that right now. Who cares? Alrighty. Step on the brakes, flaps coming in. We should get the save icon, please. There we go, we can relax now. That'll end it.
Welcome to Hans Christian Andersen Airport.
Alright, we got a little welcome message. Alright, 43 minutes, so not that much longer than it was supposed to be. I'm impressed with that. But we're doing 1 leg per video, so that's going to do it. Join us in a day or two for leg 3. We'll see you then.